Hey guys, Kim Stallings, Heritage Risk Advisors. How are you? I'm excited to be here, and in this module, we're going to talk about renter's insurance and why you as the landlord should make your tenants cover it. So here's what we're going to get into. It's super important as a landlord, if you've got tenants, to make sure that they're carrying their own renter's insurance. Number one, it's super inexpensive. Number two, it really saves your butt if there's a problem. And number three, it serves as a really interesting way to help you evict your tenants if you're having a problem. Don't forget, I'm also an investor. So, number one, why should they carry it and why is it so inexpensive? It's important for them to carry it because, gosh forbid, there's a claim and they can't stay in the property anymore. It gives them coverage to go live somewhere else so that you don't have to pay for it. Let's remember, we carry insurance to have coverage for our assets, but we don't want huge claims. Huge claims might get us kicked out of getting good policies in the future. So we want to keep our claims covering our appropriate losses, but not being any more exponential than they need to be, because they make us suffer in the long run. So make your tenant carry renter's insurance so that you can defer some of that risk to them, especially for having to live somewhere else. Number two, always get named as an additional insured on their policy. Why is that? Couple of reasons. Number one, let's say they're having a party. Let's say they're having a fight. Let's say people get a little out of control. Let's say it's a two-story house and there's a pool in the backyard and some kids decide to have a party and somebody's jumping off the roof. Timmy breaks his neck because Timmy's crazy. Timmy's parents don't have health insurance and they want somebody to pay for that problem. Who's going to pay for that problem? Once the lawyer finds out that the friend's house that they stayed at are only renting, they're going to go to the appraisal district and find out who owns it. And if you think that an LLC is going to protect you, I got $1.02 at the state website that says it's not, because I can find out exactly who you are, and I'm going to name you and your LLC in the lawsuit. So defer your risk and make your tenants buy insurance so that their general liability, which we'll talk about in other modules, stands in front of your general liability to take the brunt of that first defense claim. You need to talk to a lawyer about that. I'm not a lawyer, but that's how it works. So make sure your tenants have renter's insurance. Like I said, it's really inexpensive. That goes for not just accidents on the property, for break-ins, for thefts, for animal issues, animal bites, any kind of assault and battery. It's really important to have somebody else's insurance stand in front of your insurance. But what's that third little sneaky thing that I mentioned earlier? How do we get rid of a problem tenant? Well, if you're named as an additional insured, additional interest on their policy, and they cancel their insurance or they fail to pay it and it gets canceled, you're going to get notified because you're an additional interest. And that could violate, hopefully, the contract that you put in place as a tenant of them living there, that they have to maintain that first level of defense insurance. And that can go a long way to say, hey, you voided this contract, you gotta go. So there's lots of reasons why a landlord might want a tenant to carry their own insurance. Really, it's in the best interest of your tenant. Secondarily, it's in the best interest of yourself. And tertiary, it can help you out in a jam. So let's make sure we're doing everything right. We're covering all of our bases when we're dealing with landlords and tenants, and that we're protecting our assets and you're helping them by default protect their assets too. It's Kim Stallings at Heritage Risk Advisors. I'm here for all your questions. I'll see you guys in the next module.